Hello everyone, today I have something special for all of you. I have a story about a man named Edward Cornelius. A man who went from nobody to somebody. In this story, we will learn all about the true meaning of friendship, or maybe not, since this is not an anime. Before we get started, I would like to introduce myself, provide information about the character I made, and go over my history on YouTube. I am the editor. I am the one behind this channel, and the reason why I'm not using my real voice is because I thought that adding my real voice to the supercut would throw things off and be inconsistent with the text-to-speech voices. Regardless, I would like to go over the history of this channel. I created my first channel back in 2015 when I got my first phone. I only made an account on YouTube in order to leave likes and comments on videos. Eventually, I did start to dabble in video editing with my phone, but the videos I made around this time were random clips thrown together with no real meaning. I deleted everything at some point, and if I were to show a recreation, you would die from cringe. A few years later, I got my hands on a computer and my videos started getting better as I really got the hang of things with editing. I did try out video editing on my computer, but I preferred my phone when it came to editing. Mainly because I was so used to it at this point with Power Director. In April of 2019, I got my hands on a Xbox One and a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2. I had a lot of fun with that game. I would even say that it's one of the best games ever made. Right next to Left 4 Dead 2, Nights into Dreams, and Mortal Kombat Deception. I would after some time play the online mode and enjoy that as much as the main game. One day when I was playing Red Dead Online, the idea to make a story video entered my head. At this point in time, I was uploading a variety of different videos, ranging from rants about different topics to memes that I made in my spare time. So a video about my Red Dead Online character didn't seem too inappropriate. Originally, Edward Cornelius was supposed to be a gambler, and his story was focused on finding a rare, shiny, holographic, Charizard Pokemon card. But after finding out about the role system that Red Dead Online had, I changed the character's backstory and he became a traitor instead. The character's name came from two sources. Edward was taken from Twilight and Cornelius was taken from Planet of the Apes. I combined the two names and I got Edward Cornelius. And in January of 2020, I uploaded the first Red Dead Online video. Now you may have noticed that I haven't mentioned something. Something that's on screen now, and that is my channel name, XXBoneCrusher69XX. Why did I have such a cringy channel name? The reason is simple. Back 10 years ago, MLG videos were rampant and I really enjoyed the memes around the genre. So I gave my channel a name to pay respect to the MLG era of YouTube. And to be honest, I unironically like the idea of a COD soldier wearing a fedora, smoking weed, eating Doritos, drinking Mountain Dew, and being able to line up no-scopes with pinpoint accuracy. The MLG era is also why I made Edward have the Daniel text-to-speech voice.
For reference, this is what the voice sounds like, as it was used in every MLG meme video back in the day.
I would end up making Red Dead videos alongside my other videos. However, this obsession with the game would affect my personal life. Now I'm not going to go into any details, but basically I was focusing too much on Red Dead Online and gaming as a whole. I even had to create a new channel due to these IRL issues I was experiencing at the time. After I uploaded the Mandem video, I decided to halt my video editing for a while. After about a year, I started to edit again in my spare time as I managed to work real jobs for the first time outside of doing jobs for my dad. I've been working in warehouses since November of 2021 and even managed to work in a cereal factory for half a year. At some point, I looked back on my Red Dead character and I looked at my last Red Dead video I posted. I saw that Rockstar stopped updating Red Dead Online, presumably to focus on GTA 6. And I decided to end things once and for all. And that's when I made my final Red Dead video where I end the story of Edward Cornelius. Now you might be asking, editor, What do you have planned now that you're done with Red Dead Online? Well, not much to be honest. I have 2 videos that I plan on releasing before the year ends. The first is a video where Snake goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. This video will be a recreation of a video I saw a very long time ago. The second will be a Christmas-themed video in 007 GoldenEye. I plan on that video being a parody of the poem, A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement C. Moore. After those videos are released, I'll be halting video editing indefinitely. The first reason is because I don't have any more ideas. I don't know what else I can make. My tank is running on empty. The second reason is something that's a little scary. Something that's popped up in recent time. This is AI, otherwise known as artificial intelligence. AI started to pop up in 2020 with random image generation and started taking off with people making videos using AI voices of the Team Fortress 2 mercenaries.
You act like a dog on the internet. That is a wolf, but yes, whatever. I just like to be cute.
In 2022, ChatGPT was created, which is a AI chatbot that can hold conversations and assist you with things that you ask it. With no doubt, I think that all of this is impressive. And I will admit that seeing the presidents play Five Nights at Freddy's is really funny.
Isn't your son 17? Why is he still pissing the bed? And why in yours?
No, not Barron. Donald Jr. And he's 45. All the Trump families sleep in one giant bed. It's our family bed that we have.
There's so many things you just said that I wish I could unhear.
But in our current year of 2024, we now have AI video. You can now take a single image and have AI make its own interpretation of a video. I've also seen that video editors like CapCut offer the option of having AI edit the video for you. So in a way, video editing seems a little pointless to me now. There's this one guy on YouTube I found who goes by the name of Anti-Prophet. He's a man who lives in Thailand and he always wears what I can only describe as a mask covered with Tic Tacs. He talks about AI and he thinks that AI will take over a lot of jobs in the entertainment industry. Take a listen.
The video I'm about to show you was created in 1 day with AI. This video was literally 1,000 times cheaper to make than if it was created with traditional film sets. 3 years from now, AI is going to do this with every job in the market. Take a listen.
Volvo for life.
Like with fire, the wheel, electricity, the automobile, and the internet, there's no doubt in my mind that AI will change the world. And while it may sound like I'm paranoid and discouraged, I do like to be optimistic. In a way, the future is here and I hope that AI will have some form of constraint. Because if the Terminator movies are anything to go off of, things can end badly if left unchecked. Those are my 2 reasons why I don't plan on editing in the future. A lack of ideas and AI doing the video editing for me. Despite all of that, I think that I'm ending on a high note. While my videos aren't that popular with not many views, I only cared about making what I wanted to make. I never cared about the views, I didn't care about songs being copyrighted in my videos, and I never wanted to pander to a certain group or become a person entertaining a child audience. At that point, I would have basically been jingling my keys in front of an audience of babies. Now I may have gone off on a rant there, but these are thoughts I've had for a long time. I'm glad that I was able to finally get it all out and talk about it. I'm sorry about that. I do hope you enjoy the supercut, everyone. This supercut has every Red Dead video that I made for the story of Edward Cornelius, including stuff I haven't re-uploaded since I moved to the current YouTube channel. I also went ahead and added a few new scenes to make a few of the older videos a bit better. And so with all of that being said, I hope you enjoy this supercut. This is the full story of Edward Cornelius.
It was the year of 1898. The Van der Linde gang hadn't entered the region yet. Before the gang, there was a man named Edward Cornelius. This man was a wanderer and kept to himself, never assisting anyone in need of help or robbing anyone who looked vulnerable. He would find himself in Blackwater and be framed for a murder. He was freed by a woman named Jessica Leclerc before he was taken to the gallows. While laying low, he started to become a piano player for the moonshine shacks in the region. Unfortunately, a snowstorm would hit the region, surprising everyone. The blizzard would cause the region to erupt in anarchy and the moonshine shacks were forced to close. Edward found himself out of a job and things were looking bleak. All hope was not lost, however. Edward was walking out in the Hardlands when he saw a camp. It belonged to a man named Cripps. He talked to him and found out he needed help with his business. They came to an agreement. He gets a place to sleep, but in exchange he delivers to the buyers and has to get materials. They shook hands and said deal. Edward was now a trader, complete with his own outfit. He was even given his own revolver, shotgun, rifle, and bow. He was ready. Life as a trader was not easy, especially during the snowstorm of 1898. There were many savages and bandits fighting for supplies. Every time Edward delivered an order to a buyer, the buyer would be under attack by people desperate for supplies. He had to constantly get skins, and it became tiresome. Life as a trader was not easy. Only the toughest could survive the snowstorm. However, one day, something unexpected happened. The snowstorm came to an abrupt end. Edward couldn't believe it. He suffered through 2 agonizing months and the snowstorm ended abruptly. He didn't care how or why. He was so happy that it didn't matter. He traveled back into Blackwater to celebrate, despite the fact that he was still wanted. Edward drank so much, it's a miracle that he was able to get on his horse. He got out of Blackwater before any lawman could recognize him. Edward needed to get back to camp as it was the middle of the night. He has the bright idea to cross the bridge connecting West Elizabeth and New Hanover. However, this was a terrible idea. When he was halfway across, he regretted this decision. Edward saw a train heading his way, and he made another dumb decision. He decided to jump off the bridge to avoid becoming a red cloud of mist. Edward saw his life flash before his eyes. He didn't think he would live. Everything turned black. Edward woke up the next morning next to his horse. Was that all a dream? He wondered. He was still breathing and nothing was broken. That was all the evidence he needed to know he was still alive. He got on his horse and made his way back to camp. He knew Cripps would want to hear about this experience.
Normal tonics like snake oil claim to fortify your health and well-being. But the truth is that they make you weaker than a wolf girl. Don't be weak. Be strong. Hello there. I'm Dr. Jordan here with my new tonic, Dr. Jordan Strongman Serum. As you can see, I'm clearly a man of great intelligence and I was able to make some improvements to the regular tonic so you feel like you're at the top of your game. This stuff is so powerful that I gave it to a chicken, and that chicken proceeded to rob a bank and take out 50 police officers. In fact, it's so good, I'm gonna let you hear from customers just like you.
This is completely nasty and a waste of money.
I went into a coma after consuming this stuff.
I would rather eat chicken feet than drink this.
Get some Strongman Serum for this amazing price.
When Edward made it back to camp, Cripps was relieved to see his partner still alive. The two have a talk about what happened, and Edward brings up his near-death experience. Cripps doesn't believe Edward's story and explains that some people hallucinate when they drink a lot in one sitting. This makes sense to Edward, so he decides to not focus on what happened last night and focus on his work. Now that the snowstorm came to an end, it was time for Edward to improve at his profession. There were now a lot of more animals out now with the cold subsiding. The hunt was on. In a few months, Edward became master of the hunt. He became so skilled with firearms that he developed an ability known as Deadeye. This ability allows one to slow down time and mark their targets with red X's. Only a few men in history have been able to develop and use this ability. Red Harlow, Arthur Morgan, and John Marston. These three men are the only known examples, but it's possible that other people before these three men used some form of Deadeye. A sixth sense may have assisted a Japanese samurai in aiming better, as an example. With Edward mastering his profession, he turned his sights toward another opportunity. Moonshine. He noticed that the moonshine shacks were still closed down, possibly due to revenue agents arresting the moonshiners. So with no competition, Edward bought his own shack in tall trees for 25 gold bars. The forest would make the place hidden from revenue agents and be a perfect spot for brewing moonshine, though this money-making opportunity did bring back bad memories. As a kid, Edward despised alcohol because of his father. But after getting a taste of the stuff in Fort Wayne, it became a guilty pleasure of his. However, unlike his father, Edward would make sure to not follow in his footsteps. He would only drink if the occasion was special. He shook off these memories of his and got to work. Of course, with every successful business you need brains. That's where Maggie comes in. She was a woman who was very experienced in the moonshine trade. Her backstory was that she almost died at the hands of Hickson and his revenue agents.
I swear, it's the only time I've ever seen Hickson smile. Burning a woman alive. Probably got a medal for it too.
As such, it was up to Edward to bring down Hickson and make his new business successful. Cue montage. He was now ready to take on Hickson. They set up a trap in the swamp hoping to get Hickson, Danny Lee, and the Braithwaite. Unfortunately, they got caught themselves.
How's your aunt, by the way? I never got a chance to ask you at the boat. I hear she's looking well.
I'm sorry, Lem, but no cussing. This is a Christian Minecraft server. Edward may have found himself in a perilous position, but like his great-grandfather Noah who fought in the American Revolution, Edward would pick himself up and march toward his objective. The death of Hickson. With the death of Hickson, the moonshine business could now flourish.
Here, it is good whiskey. And Hickson? Good. You know, maybe it's time for me to move on myself. Too many memories around here. I don't know. Maybe not. For now. Prosper.
With the death of Hickson, the revenue agents were much less of a threat. Edward decided to leave Lem in charge of his moonshine shack, while he went back to being a trader. While brewing moonshine had its perks, trading was a lot more calm in comparison. He would still collect the money from his shack, and check up on Lem from time to time.
Your heart, it just wants your heart, yeah. Oh, if I were a zombie,
I can't take this anymore. People have been singing this zombie song for a few weeks now, and I can't stand it. How do you even make something based on Haitian folklore this bad? Look at me, drinking from the bottle like my father. I'm going to kill whoever is responsible for this song.
Her name is Wolfychu.
What?
She is an animal-human hybrid who is constantly on the move. If you want to track her down, you're going to have to capture the Wolf Man. He's located in northern Umbrino and is close friends with her. He has a huge bounty on his head, so you better act fast before any bounty hunters capture him.
Thank you, stranger, for the information.
Please kill her. I can't stand listening to this song anymore.
It's time to hunt the Wolfman down and get the information I need. Alright, now tell me. Where can I find Wolfychu?
At the saloon in Valentine.
Alright then. Thank you for helping me. Here is your award.
Bruh.
Evening.
Yes, it's her. The resemblance is uncanny. I'll leave the man alone though. He can start over with a human girl.
Oh God, help me!
I, Edward Cornelius, sentence you to death. It's done. Now to take the next step against these people. This is a proclamation of war against the storytime animators. Mr. Edward Cornelius and his trading business are through messing around with these dumb people. They are getting in the way of business and money making opportunities by attacking our hunters that gather our animal pelts. They also are harassing the locals into subscribing to their YouTube channels to see their horrible animation memes. We are not going to take it anymore. If anyone wants to join our cause, find us at Camp Pinewood, located in Tall Trees, West Elizabeth. We are coming for you, storytime animators. My head. Wait, this isn't where I fell off my horse. Where am I?
Hello, son. You've grown quite a lot.
Father? Is that you? What are you doing here?
I'm here because I need to give you a message. It's very important.
Oh really? Well, I got a message for you. Fuck you. You were the one that moved me here, weren't you?
Edward, you are unconscious right now. I'm here because I'm dead. I didn't drag you here. You're in a dream.
Oh sure, what's next? Am I going to follow a white rabbit into a rabbit hole and end up in a strange world like that girl Alice?
Listen, Edward, I know I wasn't a good father, but you have to listen to me. I've been sitting in hell and a man in a suit offered me a way to set things right by giving you this message.
So you got sent here to set things right. What the hell? I'll listen because I'm not an ignorant jerk.
Thank you, son. Here's the message from that man I encountered. A man who goes by the name of Archibald Winston II is planning something nefarious. He has a project he's been working on. He calls it TikTok. He calls it that because, in his words, humanity is on the clock. He's hiding in the abandoned town of Coulter.
So this man wants to kill everyone. Sounds like a lot of work. Who even gave you this message?
He didn't give me a name, but he did say that he would eventually reveal himself to you.
Are you being intentionally cryptic, you blue bastard?
Edward, please forgive me for how I treated you and your brother. You have to understand, I saw things out there during the war. I saw bodies explode from cannons and blood cover the floors of medical tents. I had a friend from Pittsburgh bleed out in my arms. These memories haunted me for the rest of my life. That's why I drank so much. The liquor taunted me and sunk its claws into me. It's what led me to do something awful.
What was it? What did you do?
There's no easy way of saying this, Edward. That night, after you ran away from home, I ended up shooting your mother and she stabbed me in the throat. We both bled out that night and died.
What? How could you? That's it. I don't care if you're dead, or if this is a dream, I'm going to shoot you, until you turn into a bloody pulp. You rotten, greasy, disgusting base. What a dream. Is there really someone named Archibald up in the mountains? Maybe he was the one who caused that snowstorm to happen. It's going to be a long time before I can forgive my father. I better get a hold of my friend Oak. Dear Oak, how are you doing? I hope you and your grandchildren are in good spirits. I know it's been a while since we last met, but I require your help with something important. I flew off of my horse and was told about something important in my dream. I don't think I have a concussion, but I would like to talk about it with you. Let's meet in Valentine in 3 weeks. I need to take care of a few things before we meet up. You know how busy we traders can be. Edward Cornelius. So what do you think of my story?
That story you just told me is rubbish.
That man is a walking threat to the human race.
If what you told me is true, then why should I go with you?
Because you're my friend and friends look out for each other.
Fine, I'll go with you, but how are we going to deal with such a dangerous man?
Because I have this.
Where did you get that?
In a cellar not too far from here. There were a few dead bodies down there.
Let's just go.
To the abandoned town of Coulter. Let's go.
Gonna paint our wagon, gonna paint it good. We ain't bragging, we're gonna coat that wood.
Coulter is just ahead. I'm a little worried.
About what? With the two of us, he can't.
Oak. I can't believe it. What? Who is that? Who are you?
I am Archibald II and you won't stop my day.
I'm getting out of here. Oak. I can't believe you're dead.
Wrong.
Wait, Oak. How are you not dead?
The bullet grazed my skull and shut off my ear. I also changed clothes because I was cold. So where is this man that tried to kill me?
Richtera.
We should kill you here and now.
TikTok quiz comment Oliver.
After searching that town, I couldn't find anything. Archibald was real, but what was that project? I guess it doesn't matter now. Oak, thank you for coming with me. I will let your daughter know about your unfortunate demise. I'll make sure that she doesn't tell your grandchildren. Rest in peace, Oak Hudson. Hello there. My name is Edward Cornelius, and I'm here to inform you all about a virus that has entered the world of Red Dead Online. This virus originated from Tumblr and has laid dormant for years waiting to enter the online world of Red Dead. If you think I'm talking about the COVID-19 virus, you are wrong. I'm talking about the other virus known as Steven Universe. What? You don't know what Steven Universe is? I'll show you then. This is Steven Universe. As you can see, this plague of a cartoon has already infected millions of others in the real world. How is it spreading so fast, you ask? Well, the ones infected in Red Dead Online are using arrows dipped with the virus and shooting those arrows into unsuspecting people. When you become infected, your vision gets blurry, you get very dizzy, and when you are in this state, the infected person fights you and knocks you unconscious. When that happens, the virus takes over your body and it's all downhill from there. Please, players of Red Dead Online, don't let the virus spread in Red Dead Online. Kill all who are infected by placing one bullet between the eyes and burn the body to prevent the virus from spreading. To protect yourself, please wear a bandana and gloves when out in the wilderness. Make sure you always carry a gun. Also avoid anyone with a singy-song voice, and avoid any people with gems on their head. I've just been informed that the person responsible for this virus, Rebecca Sugar, has been arrested by the St. Denis Police Department. She is currently in Sisika Penitentiary awaiting her execution for causing the virus. I would like to thank Unsafest Oak 775 for helping me with this video. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and avoid the virus. Another day, another dollar. Morning, Crips.
Good morning, Edward.
I got a big day ahead of me.
Indeed, we have to get these orders completed.
I better head out then. Keep the camp safe for me.
Will do.
I'll be back soon, Coron. You're such a good girl.
Youpie youpie!
What? Weird. Anyway, time to hunt.
Welcome back, Edward. I see you got a lot.
You're right about that. I did a very good job.
I'll get started on this tonight.
You do that. I think I'm going to head out again and enjoy the night. It's nice out there.
Be careful out there. I don't want to go searching for your body.
Before I head out, I'll take a quick puff of my cigar. I wonder what people will smoke in the future. Maybe stuff infused with fruit. And to think that months ago, I was framed for a crime I didn't commit, and freed by that widow, Jessica Leclerc.
Okay, Sheriff. Here they are. Tell the Marshal this ain't how we do things here. But I'll oblige him this once.
You with the hammer, and you'll do. We need to perform a work detail out near Tumbleweed. Come on, get in.
Good day, gentlemen. Oh, don't do anything stupid. Nobody gets shot. Throw your guns to the ground and get on down here. That's it. Let them out. Now, please.
Okay.
You all run away. Aside from you. Try to stay out of trouble. This is a stroke of good fortune for all of you. Use it. Now, sir, how about you pick up these guns and we move out? My mistress is waiting for us. Madam, we're back.
So you must be the one who got framed. What did you tell him, Horley?
Nothing, as we discussed.
Thank you, Horley. I'm Jessica Leclerc. And you are?
Edward Cornelius. Thanks for freeing me.
You're welcome. After all, I know you're not guilty. I was there that day when you were arrested.
I beg your pardon?
I saw everything from a 2-story window. After the trigger was pulled, one person knocked you out and planted the gun used for the murder on you. It was a group of 4 that set you up.
And one of these people also made Mrs. Leclerc a widow.
It was my husband that died that day. If only I could get my hands on the killer, I would show him true suffering.
I may have never been married myself, but I do understand what you want to do. I ran away from home when I was 11. My father was a piece of shit who would beat me, and my brother for no reason. The things I would do to him now.
I assure you, Edward, my suffering is much greater than what you experienced. Horley, please get him some fresh clothes.
Certainly, madam. This way. You'll find a change of clothes in there, alongside a few other items you might need, a lasso, a knife, and a lantern, I believe.
I feel like a new man.
That's a lot better than those prison stripes.
Here, madam.
Thank you, Horley. I needed a drink. It's been a long day.
Mrs. Leclerc's husband was murdered by one of his business partners.
I don't know why he was betrayed, but I will seek them out and get the answers I need. Did you know one of his friends survived a duel against Mr. Kelly of Brimstone? He had a great group of friends.
I grew up in Brimstone. That man was death incarnate.
I doubt even Landon Ricketts could take him out. It's a good thing Red Harlow killed him during that battle royale a decade ago, but I'm getting off topic. These are the casings of the bullets fired that day. I've been keeping tabs on them for a while now. I will hunt every one of them down for what they did to me and you. Of course, I'm not asking you for your help, Edward. I don't want to make my problems yours. This is something I must do myself.
Then why did you save me, if you don't want my help?
Mrs. Leclerc would like to help you get back on your feet. Get back to work.
I didn't want you to die for something you didn't do. You're not the one responsible for my husband's death. That's why I had Horley free you.
You know, I've never been one to read books, but I do believe it was Evelyn Miller who wrote that. He who looks into the abyss, realizes that there's nothing looking back at him. The only thing he sees, is his own character. These people will get what's coming to them, and they only have themselves to blame.
The winds are blowing and the storm's coming. I pray that you don't get swept up in it.
I promise that I won't get involved in your business.
Good. Now listen here, Edward. While you are a free man right now, the law still thinks you're guilty. There's a safe house north of Tumbleweed. Stay there for a few days and lay low for a while. I hope you don't get arrested again, because I won't be there to save you.
Thank you for everything, Jessica. I wish you luck with getting revenge.
Goodbye, Edward.
I wonder where she is now. I hope she's doing alright. Hopefully, she got her revenge, and put her husband's soul to rest. Is that Gus? I should pay him a visit. Hello, Gus.
Edward. Long time no see.
How's business?
It's good when the bitch Harriet isn't spraying you with her homemade perfume that will leave you with a bad hangover.
I know what you mean. I've heard that a man got turned into a deer after being sprayed with that stuff. I'm shooting on sight if she enters my camp.
Same here. I would rather take my chances with that cave I've heard about.
Cave?
Yeah. I was overhearing some Murfree Brood members. They said that there was a cave behind the waterfall at Illusion's pool. Could be interesting.
It could be a idiot that belongs to their gang. If that's the case, then I will go there. They've been a problem in Roanoke Ridge for far too long.
I don't care about stopping gangs, so if you want to get yourself killed, be my guest, but at least take a shotgun with you. I recommend a double barrel. It's quicker to fire than your pump action.
Okay, thanks for the info. I'm going back to my camp.
Stay safe out there.
See you soon.
I remember when I first encountered Gus and Harriet. They were fighting like two alleyway cats.
Madam, please!
No!
I'll be right with you.
I know you're up there!
Oh, marvelous. There she is. Just what I need. The crazy wood nymph. Yeah, Mrs. Hobbs will be by to handle the taxidermy.
Oh, travel safe, my friend. Is there any animal that you have not slaughtered?
Oh, you flatter me, Miss
Sorry,
Davenport.
I really will be right with you.
The answer's no, but I'm retired, as you know, and have been for some time.
Yes, and how many have you out there killing for you now?
Business is booming. What about you there? You a hunter? Gus McMillan, master craftsman of fine clothing and accessories. Here's my card. I pay top dollar for animal furs and parts. The rarer, the better.
Don't listen to him.
Seriously, come see me.
You're no better than a murderer. And one day, you'll be seen as such.
Whoa. Would you mind taking us outside? I don't want
Shut up, Glenn.
Listen, soon as a squirrel finds a cure for tuberculosis, let's talk.
You should have been court-martialed at birth.
Annoying, isn't she? See him? The only thing he had on his mind was hunger, sweetheart, but I pulled the trigger. Survival of the fittest. Isn't that your mentor's trite catchphrase?
It's not survival of the fittest. You are killing to line your own pockets.
This is how I make my living. We don't all have a rich daddy. While you're camped out in the woods, making witches' brews and talking to the wildlife, the rest of us are doing some real work.
You think this is some big joke?
Oh,
that's
what
enough!
the hell is that crazy shrew? They should throw you in an asylum.
That's it! I quit! You can tell the mayor I've gone home.
Gus is definitely the better of the two. I bet Harriet never washes herself. What a dirty woman.
Welcome back, Edward.
Crips, get the guns and the weapon locker loaded and ready for use.
Edward, what's going on?
Crips, you see that waterfall across from our camp? I was informed that there is a cave behind that waterfall that is possibly a mer-free brood idiot. I'm going to pay them a visit. If I'm not back in a few hours, get help and come after me.
Really? Well, normally, I would be more concerned, but I know you're a really resilient man and I know you can handle yourself. Please don't get yourself killed.
I promise. This is a good thing I'm doing. Not just for the region, but for myself as well. I've been bushwhacked before by those mer-free broods. Well, this is it. Well, how about that? There actually is a cave here. I should be on my guard if there are mer-free broods here. There might be something down here. Left or right? Left. Doesn't look like this cave has any. Where am I? What is this place? What the hell is that? Whatever that thing was, it was not human. Looks like I'm in a mine. I hear more of those things coming. What happened to a place like this to end up underground? What is this? Speed cola. I've never seen one of these. This place has seen better days. Looks like I'm now in the town. I'll have to see if I can find a way out of this place. Wow, another person. Hello, are you okay, sir? Can you say anything? I'm guessing you're dumb. I'll get you out of there. Okay, you're free. It looks like you could use a drink. Whoa, you just opened the way out of here. I'll have to keep you around.
Double points!
Looks like there's something behind that rubble. I wonder how I'm going to clear a path. It ain't the saloon and Valentine, but it'll do. With this, I could clear that debris in front of that red machine. Big guy, I got something for you. Charge. Now let's see what we got. This looks like that speed cola machine I saw earlier. Maybe these machines dispense something. Juggernog. I feel like I now have armadillo scales. Maybe now I'll be able to tank a bunch of hits from those things. This town sure has been left to rot. Vulture aid. Tastes like coagulated blood. I feel like I'm gonna throw it back up, but my eyesight is now better than it was before. Mule kick.
Across the fields, across the plains, he ran so fast he dodged the rain.
Smells like gunpowder. This is something those Del Lobos in New Austin should be drinking. Time to see what this drink does. This is making me all jittery. I could probably reload faster now. Why is there a beam of light coming from this chest? I'd better open it. Whoa. What is that? It looks like it came from the future. Oh my god. This thing is shredding though these monsters. I'm unstoppable. A giant mansion? This could be interesting. Which? No one can float like that. I gotta get out of here. Thank God I'm out. Take this, you bitchy witch. It looks like this maze is next. Not this way. Nope. Damn. Looks like I found the exit. Is this supposed to be a gazebo? Increase your firepower. Going off of the drink machines, I believe it. Wow. This thing does pack a punch. Looks like there's no way forward. This is where I make my last stand. Come get some new monsters. No. AHH. My head hurts. Wait, why am I wearing mild apprentice outfit? This spot looks familiar. Is that my horse? Bo. Is he dead? I left him at camp before I entered the cave. What's going on here?
Maybe I can provide some insight. Edward Cornelius.
Who are you, and how do you know my name?
You have a lot of questions, and I'll answer them the best I can. I am known to many as the Strange Man. I am an accountant, keeping track of souls and where they end up. You entered a purgatory after you died.
You're telling me I'm dead?
Yes. The snowstorm subsided after 2 months and you celebrated by getting drunk. After downing 4 bottles of scotch, you rode your horse on this bridge above us. A train was heading towards you and seeing no other option, you jumped off the bridge with your horse.
I remember now. I was so happy that storm came to an end. I remember leaving Blackwater and waking up next to my horse. You said I was sent to a purgatory?
Yes. It was to find out where you are on the scale of good and bad. Every 98 years, a soul is created with a clean slate that has no sense of good or evil. You are the most recent clean slate that was created. And to help with determining where you landed on the scale of good and bad, 2 people were created for this purgatory. Old Man Oak was made to represent good and Archibald II was created to be the face of bad.
So they weren't real? What about that woman named Wolfychu, and that vision I had about my father telling me about Archibald?
All of those things were created to decide where you would end up.
If that's the case, then why did I fight a bunch of monsters in our underground town?
Even with those 2, you still were on the middle of the scale, so I made one final test in the form of a town filled with monsters. I decided that if you killed 300 monsters, you would get to go to heaven. If not, you would go to hell.
How many of those things did I kill?
385.
So I go to heaven?
Yes. I know this is all a lot to process, and this may be anticlimactic, but just know that you are now deemed a good soul. You can rest easy now.
This is a lot to take in, but since I remember what happened now, I won't fight what comes next.
You will disappear soon and pass on to the next world. Take a moment to reflect on your life and time spent here in this purgatory. I hope I was able to answer all of your questions, Edward. I must go now. I have another person I need to test. He goes by the name of John Marston. Goodbye, Edward.
So this is it. This is the end. At least I get to watch the sunrise. What even caused that snowstorm to happen in that first place? I guess I'll never know. I wonder what has become of my brother, Henry. At least I won't be rotting in hell with my piece of shit father. Goodbye, world.
Mr. Edward Cornelius. Born in 1870, he grew up in Brimstone and was raised in an abusive home. His father, Albert Cornelius, fought in the American Civil War and was exposed to a lot of death. Because of this, Albert would suffer from PTSD and become an alcoholic. Despite this, he would meet a woman by the name of Catherine Roberts in 1868. Catherine was a music writer for stage performances in Chicago. They would marry each other later that year and settle down in Brimstone. Catherine gave birth to Edward in 1870 and would give birth again 3 years later to a boy named Henry. Edward and Henry suffered regular beatings from his father for the smallest inconveniences. Despite this, their mother showed them that there was always a bright side to things in life. Catherine would even teach Edward how to play the piano. One night in 1881, things got really ugly. Albert got home from the saloon and started throwing stuff around the living room. Catherine tried to calm him down, but this was a bad decision. Albert ended up shooting Catherine in the chest, and Catherine returned the favor by lodging a knife in his throat. The two bleed out and Edward ran away from home that night before shit hit the fan. He never found out about their deaths. He never looked back. Henry would be found by Sheriff Bartlett and be taken into an orphanage. Edward would travel around the U.S. and make his living by becoming a traveling piano player for the next decade until he found himself in New Hanover. While in Blackwater, he found himself framed and taken in by the police. He would have been executed had it not been for Jessica Leclerc. After that, a massive snowstorm would hit the area he was in and all of the saloons and moonshine shacks had to close down due to a lack of supplies. With nowhere to play music, Edward would find himself at a camp belonging to a man named Cripps. They talked for a while and Cripps decided to offer Edward a job. After all, Cripps needed a new partner after his old partner got disemboweled by wolves. Edward agreed and the two shook hands. Cripps gave him a place to sleep and a new pair of clothes for the job. Over the next 2 months, Edward would hunt animals and make deliveries to buyers. However, he struggled to find game in his environment due to all of the snow. And every time he made a delivery, he had to defend the buyers from people wanting the supplies. Eventually, the snowstorm came to an abrupt end. Legend has it, a hooded cryomancer witch cast a spell to freeze the U.S. and turn it into a frozen wasteland as revenge for what happened in Salem over 200 years ago. She was hog-tied and burned to death with moonshine by two men who went by names of Oak Hudson and Archibald Winston II before she could complete her plan. It's unknown if this actually happened. Edward was so joyful that the snowstorm stopped. He decided to celebrate by visiting the bar in Blackwater. After a few hours, he was drooling and completely out of it. He somehow got on his horse and was making his way back to Cripps when he decided to take a shortcut. He got on the bridge connecting West Elizabeth and New Hanover, and this was a bad move to make. Edward made it halfway across before it happened. Edward saw that a train was coming and not being able to outrun the train, he decided to take a shortcut. He jumped off the bridge with his horse, hit a shallow part of the river, and died from the impact of the fall. Edward's body was found a few days later on the shores of West Elizabeth. His body was unrecognizable, so he was buried in Blackwater Cemetery as a John Doe. R.I.P. Edward Cornelius. 1870 to 1898.
I finally found you, Edward. After all these years, we finally meet again. That gypsy woman, Madame Nazar. She may have forced me to collect tarot cards and fossils, but in the end I got the info I needed. You would have done the same, brother. I know you wouldn't recognize me if you were still alive, but it's me, Henry. Your brother from Brimstone. It's good that you ran away that night. Our mom and dad killed each other that night. God, I miss her every day. Even though my life has been tough, I've managed to make a name for myself with poker. I hope you were just as successful as me. I'll be moving to New York City soon, although there's talk that they might rename it to Liberty City. This region has become too dangerous. A year ago, the Van der Linde gang went into Blackwater to steal $150,000 from a ferry. That gang got into a shootout and the whole incident became known as the Blackwater Massacre. While there isn't an official death toll, it's estimated that over 24 people died that day, including a woman who was shot in the head by Dutch Van der Linde himself. I'm getting out of here before another incident like that happens. I just wanted to pay my respects before I left. Goodbye, brother. May you rest in peace.